run your prison, to privatize all your prisons, that we would do it at a third of the cost, and you would save money. And the only stipulation is that you have to maintain a 90% occupancy rate. And so essentially what happens is that they're going to arbitrarily start locking people up because they have to maintain that occupancy rate. And what was happening, several states declined it, but there was a few that did. And what happened when they couldn't maintain that occupancy rate, they sued them because it's like breach of contract. You said you were going to have it at 90% occupied, and they had to pay them money for whatever the balance was. They had to pay them because they was on the contractual agreement. So at the end of the day, it's all about money. You can go on Correction Corporation of America and look at their stock, and you can see it rising every day. And on that website, their motto is, if we build it, they will come.
Wow. So
we go real in depth with that, and that's why I employ everyone to make sure you go out and get Elementary Genocide, School to Prison Pipeline, Elementary Genocide 2, the Board of Education versus the Board of Incarceration, and you can go on Amazon and get it. You can go to elementarygenocide.com and get it, and it's all over the place. We're in about 67 stores throughout the United States. So it's very accessible, and this is something that's needed for those that deal with traditional ways of watching movies. You can also stream it on Amazon. So you don't have to buy the DVD. You can stream it from your iPad, any mobile device, your cell phone, your Xbox. Anywhere where you can stream movies, you can watch the documentary.
That's good, man. That's hot. So distribution wise, did you go yourself, or did you incorporate like a major distribution company as far as putting it out?
Nah, I did mostly everything organically from the ground up. Now I do have several non-exclusive agreements with a few distribution companies and like some one-stop shop distribution.
Okay.
So that's how I'm able to get it out to a lot of different places. I personally have 5 different retail outlets, but there's other distributors that have it, like they sell it on Walmart, on their website. They sell it in Barnes and Nobles. So there's a lot of different places that are getting it from retailers. Retailers get it directly from me. So we was able to touch a lot of people. A lot of units went out. So the documentary has been doing exceptionally well, and we're gonna replicate that with 3. 3 is gonna be even bigger. And 3, we have Voice Walking, we have Professor Ed Garn, we have Professor James Small from Hidden Colors 1 through 4. We have Kaba Kenny, who's in Hidden Colors. Mm-hmm. We also have Mr. Shahrazad Ali, and we have David Banner. David Banner is in that heat. So I want everybody to make sure you go and support this. And
got to.
Things that I tell everybody is that we don't accept funding from third parties. Don't deal with sponsorship, no corporate dollars, because we want to be able to give you the undiluted truth. So you definitely have to support us. This is independently produced, and it's people supported.
Right, and you can actually donate to that project, right? I think I see on the website that.
Absolutely. Actually, we have 5 days left.
Okay.
And we started a Indiegogo campaign, because one thing a lot of people don't realize is that there's a lot of components that go into doing these documentaries. We have the sound, you have color corrections, you have motion graphics, and you also want to have your marketing aspect ready as well. So our initial kickoff is to do 6 cities. We're going to do 6 cities within the first 6 weeks.
Okay.
So that's why, it takes money. And that's one thing that us as black people got to understand. I know a lot of people in the conscious community, they're wearing poverty as an honor. And we don't do that over here. We have the resource, we have the money as a people, and we just need to pool our resources together and support individuals such as myself, other individuals that are fighting for social justice, and because we got to tell a story,
right.
Because if we allow our open enemies to tell a story, then they're going to change the narrative, and you're going to see it through the lens of how they perceive us.
Right.
So everybody, if you can, support it, contribute. If you can't contribute, make sure you click that share button, and we got to get this done, family.
And that's elementarygenocide.com, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now,
you have social media. You got Instagram.
Yes, I have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I have Tumblr. I'm on basically just every social media, and my handle is @Markeisha. That's my personal page on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And also we have a movie page, which is Elementary Genocide, for the film that's on Facebook. But everything else is @Markeisha.
wow. Brother?
Yeah, our social media game is we reach a lot of people, especially like on Twitter. We got 40,000 followers. So yeah, we definitely reach out. Our digital footprint is out there in cyberspace. And that's the unique thing about it is that, we didn't ask permission to do this, and we ain't gonna ever ask permission. We just gonna do it. And now with the advent of social media, we all in a position to do that. And so that's why when I said that, this is my last documentary, that don't mean that I'm not going to do no more other documentaries. What I want to do now is I want to recreate the magic for someone else. So as African people, we have a unique history. We have stories that's untold, that need to be told. And I have the blueprint and the formula. Why not make it work for somebody else?
That's true. I mean, why recreate it? You know what I mean? You actually have walked that path. You have walked that path already. Brother,
What's happening now is that, the social justice issue is being, it's almost like it's becoming mainstream. And without calling any names, you see some of these documentaries that's coming out and these programs that's on Netflix,
yeah,
and different things like that, celebrities and, acclaimed directors. And don't get me wrong, I love those documentaries, but what I do question is, these same individuals, they don't have no skin in the game. And what I mean by skin in the game is, how many of them are going out speaking to the youth? Because it's one thing to put out a documentary, but you have to go out there and touch people. How many of them have been personally impacted by the criminal justice system? So that's why, I take disagreement with a lot of what I see is because I got skin in the game. I know what it is to be behind enemy lines.
Bro.
I know the repercussion of it. And I was able to come out and not fall victim and go back in there. So I know the blueprint to success. So that's why it's very important that our people get behind a documentary like this. You don't have the big marketing dollars, but for some reason and somehow, a lot of people would take notice and we built it up organically.
Right.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I really don't like talking about it, saying it, but initially I started my research for my documentary in 2010. I didn't release the first documentary until the end of 2013, like December. So you could say my premiere was January 14th of 2014. So I've been telling this story for a minute. Last year, when it came out with the documentary 13, that day I got at least 25 phone calls, and everybody was telling me, "Oh my God, this documentary reminds me of your documentary." You know, I don't have a monopoly on information, but they had to look at my documentary, all the elements that they put in there. It's in my documentary already, but a lot of people seen it. They get all the praise, all the glory, and I'm not mad at it because what it did was it took the school to prison pipeline and it is now on like a more national stage. And I was talking about it since 2010, and I really put it out to the public in 2013. So a lot of people was just getting on it, you know. And the thing about it is that as I'm putting out these documentaries, I'm still doing my research. So that's why in 2, I spoke heavily on females, because in the first one we highlighted males more so females.
Right.
And then with the second one, I learned that within the last 30 years, there has been an 800% increase in the incarceration of women. So
Wow.
that's
800%?
why we 800% increase in the last 30 years. You know, even in the school system, when we talk about the school to prison pipeline, a lot of times it's more focused on males. But when you look at the males of 3 black males are 3 to 4 times more likely to be suspended or expelled from school than their white counterparts for the same or similar offenses. But when it comes to black females, they are 6 times more likely to be suspended or expelled from school.
Wow.
So the numbers is there. You know, numbers don't lie. So we addressed that in part 2. And another thing that we did that was really unique is that we went back to the landmark ruling of Brown versus Board of Education, and we asked the proverbial question, has it done more harm than good? And we know that it has done more harm because during that time, what they did was integrate the students and not the teachers. 82,000 black teachers lost their jobs. So here it is, you have teachers that had our best interests at heart, that was culturally inclined with the students, and came from the community of the students, was no longer there. And then you had these Neanderthals that was teaching that Columbus discovered America, and George Washington never told a lie.
Wow.
Yeah, this, you know, it gets deeper and deeper when you go down the rabbit hole.
Bro, it don't stop, man. That you dug deep, man. You did your homework, you did the research, and you really dug deep. And you really went deep in here, man. This is a must get series 1, 2, and when 3 drops, the people got to date. I mean, if you're African American, and unless you walk around with blinders, this is something right here that you got to look at. You know what I'm saying? This is something for you to absorb and actually, you know what I'm saying, think on that. Become a thinking mind. You know what I'm saying? Don't let others form opinions and think for you. You got to be able to go and think for yourself. And this brother Raheem has put out the tools. That's what these documentaries are. They are tools. They are stepping stone and tools to open up your mind and to think. And once we, you know what I'm saying, once we able to think, man, it's like we can progress as a community, as a whole.
Indeed. And I want everybody to know every Wednesday at 6 p.m. you can check us out on Necessary Blackness Podcast. We recently interviewed Yoruba Ben Wahad, and he's a former political prisoner that did 19 years behind enemy lines. He's also a former Black Panther the original Panther was part of the New York